What is up, guys? It is your LOL support here. Be sure to give this video a huge thumbs up. Like us on Facebook and Twitter to ask us questions and to receive news on the channel. Links for both will be in the description below. And last, be sure to tick that subscribe button to join our team, but more importantly, to join our family. Alright guys, see ya.
But now that you're gone, I can fly.
What is up, guys? It is your LOL support here, and today we're going to be bringing you a champion guide on Anivia, the Cryo Phoenix. Before we start off this guide, I'm going to be reading you guys my runes and masteries because I've been pretty lame on that, and I've been getting a lot of comments asking, what are your runes and masteries in this video? So, here are my runes for Anivia. I run Magic Pen Marks, Armor Yellows, AP Quintessences, and Scaling AP Glyphs. And my mastery page, I run a 2109 mastery page, taking points all down the ability power tree all the way down to the increased damage, and taking up 1 point in the increased damage for ranged and the exposed weakness mastery as well. And then for the 9 in the utility, taking the increased base time and increasing my mana regen, also increasing the duration of my potions, increasing buff duration, and cooldown of summoners, cooldown of summoner spells. Okay, so that is my runes and masteries. Now let's get into the guide, and we're gonna first start off with Anivia's abilities. For those of you, by the way, who have not played Anivia, I highly recommend you guys go play her, because I feel like Anivia is that sweater that you get from your grandma that you wear once and then you wear it again when she comes over. But she's definitely worth it, and she's definitely an amazing champion. Amazing damage potential as well. So let's get into some of her abilities. And her passive is her Rebirth, and Rebirth is kind of like a built-in guardian angel. It's really awesome. Upon taking lethal damage, Anivia will transform into an egg with 100% health. While in egg form, Anivia is unable to make any actions, and her armor and magic resistances are modified by -40, -25, -10, +5, +20, meaning when you do go down in earlier levels, they'll be easier to kill you than when you go down in harder levels, or in higher levels. And in this matchup, I'm going to be going against Ziggs, which is kind of like it's a really good method of zoning out Anivia, and you're going to see that. I get chunked pretty a good amount in this video, but I figured I'd include a video where I get countered in lane so that you guys can know, hey, Anivia can play against some of the main mid laners in the meta nowadays. Now let's go into her next ability. Let me scroll down through here, sorry guys. Her next ability is her Q ability, which it throws on first cast. Anivia unleashes an orb of ice that travels in a line, dealing magic damage to any enemy it passes through. At maximum range, Flash Frost will detonate automatically, and on the second cast you can detonate this early, it will deal magic damage and stun the enemies in a 75 radius for 1 second. And the benefit of detonating this early is that you will be able to catch targets out, I guess. I use it a lot for the slows. Every once in a while I will detonate it early just because, but I'll usually let it pass through my enemies just to get the slow off so I can catch up to them. And also it gives you the most time for them to not be able to dodge it. And this damage scales pretty well. It scales 120, 180, 240, 300, 360, and it scales with 100% AP on the maximum mana damage at the max ranged. And if it gets the stun, however, if it just passes through, it's only going to do 60, 90, 120, 150, and 180, and this will scale with 50% AP. And her next ability is Force Pulse. And Anivia on active Crystallize. Anivia on active constructs an impassable wall of ice at a target location for 5 seconds, perpendicular to Anivia's facing. Meaning, if you're facing towards the Ziggs right now, the wall will make sort of like a T looking thing right there, as you can see. So right here, Udyr coming in for the gank, and Ziggs able to satchel charge out of that with no problem at all. Now, Crystallize is really good. The more you max it, the more width that you get on your wall. I don't recommend scaling this point until around level 7 or level 8, just because you simply won't need it, and the damage that you get from your E and your Q, it's too much to ignore. So the opportunity cost is a lot higher when you scale your wall compared to your E or your Q. Now your next ability, Frostbite. Anivia fires an ice shard to a target and deals magic damage to the enemy. Frostbite deals double damage to enemies that are chilled, and enemies become chilled when they get hit by your Q ability or if they are hit by your ultimate ability, and chills last for 3 seconds. Now the magic damage of this ability goes 55, 85, 115, 145, and 175, and this scales with 50% AP. However, when the chill damage comes down, it goes up to 110, 170, 230, 290, and 350, and this scales with 100% AP. And this is really the determining factor between good Anivias and bad Anivias. They're going to be able to hit off this ability when the enemy is chilled, and they're going to get massive amounts of damage. I'm talking ridiculous, and you'll see some of the damage that I'm able to pump out as Anivia in this video. So you see right there, I had to base because I was getting poked down too much, picked up another 2 health potions, and picked up all the components for my, and you see the damage right there. I mean, just one combo, he's down to about a third or 2/3 HP. But I bought all the parts for my chalice. However, I do not have enough gold because I was getting zoned pretty dang hard in the early laning phase. But we are going to be able to catch up a bit here. Now, Glacial Storm is her ultimate, and at active, Anivia creates a blizzard in the target area with a 400 radius, and this deals magic damage. You see right here, Ziggs able to get off the kill, and because of my passive, I'm able to survive all of his damage right here. And I'm gonna come up, and I'm gonna activate my Glacial Storm, and right after I activate Glacial Storm, here, let's go back and rewind this. Okay, so as Anivia, you gotta trust that you're passive and see if they have enough damage. So right here, get my Glacial Storm down. I know that his heal is down. I know he's not going to be able to come out of that. And he does pick up the kill here, technically. But you see, I know that right when I spawn, I'm going to have to use my Glacial Storm and then hit E as fast as I can. So Glacial Storm, hit E, and then he's dead. Now I do hit one more bomb, but it's not going to be enough to kill me, and that is enough to pick up a kill. And that is how Anivia works right there. You kind of bait them out a little bit with your passive, and they go in, they get greedy, and they're not able to finish the job. So let's go back into your Glacial Storm. Enemies inside the Glacial Storm are chilled for 1 second, and it will slow all of their movements and attack speed by 20%. So in a team fight, it's very important that you stay near your Glacial Storm, because you can walk out of the range of it, and it will go on cooldown. Now, it's not a long cooldown per se, it's only a cooldown of 6 seconds, and then you can always reactivate it after the 6 seconds. But the magic damage per second goes 80, 120, and 160, and it also scales with 25% AP. And the mana per second cost is 40, 50, and 60 respective to the levels. So this is going to be a high mana costing ability. It also costs 75 mana to even activate it. So you're going to have to use this sparingly if you don't have a blue buff, and Anivia will typically need blue buffs. I mean, I say need, but you should be able to lane without a blue buff. A typical lane clearing combo is activate your ult, throw your Q through the minion wave, and then if there's a caddy minion, you're going to use your E on the cannon. So that is all of her abilities. Now let's get into some of her gameplay and item builds. So right now I'm going to click on myself here, and we're going to see that I have finished my chalice and my boots. And typically I like to go with a Doran ring start with 2 health potions. I take 2 health potions if I know I'm going to be in a lane where I'm going to get harassed down, such as in a lane against Ziggs. That would be a great lane to pick couple health potions up. However, if it's a lane, say against Karthus, where you know you're going to be able to beat him up and you're going to be able to dodge a lot of his abilities, then you're going to want to bring the 2 mana potions. But on most cases, you're going to bring the 2 health potions. Now, playing against Ziggs is going to be hard because of his long range poke, so I'm going to have to go in and out of battle whenever his passive is down. So say if when he gets his passive up, his hands light up and you're able to see it, so you're going to back out. And when his passive is down, you can go in and maybe get a little bit of harass off. But it's going to be hard because he does have a kit that revolves around peel and long range poke. So Anivia is going to be outclassed here, but if you do get the stun and you are able to get into close quarters with these Ziggs, you are going to be able to do a lot of damage off to him. Summoners that I like to take on Anivia, I love taking my teleport and I love taking flash, because I feel like Anivia is the type of champion who is very mana hungry in lane, and you're going to need a base a lot. And to compensate for the amount of basing that you're going to do, a teleport helps because you basically get a free base and buy every 3 minutes, because you get to just come straight back into lane anyways. So right here, Udyr's coming in for the gank. I don't know if this is going to be successful or not. Ziggs is kind of in a safe position right now. So right there, just barely, or not barely, missing my Q. I was more going for the minion wave, and I positioned myself properly so that, okay, so the reason I'm positioning myself over here and Ziggs has a perfect chance to go here is because if I need to, I can, like, I see him turn, and if I need to, I can block off one of his pathways like this. You usually want to chase behind him pretty perpendicular, or you want to chase perpendicular to the area you want to block off. So if I wanted to block off the gap in the river, I would have to come at it this way so I could block it like that. But let's go through this. So I see that Udyr goes that way, and I go over and I'm trying to get the kill off on him. I activate my Glacial Storm. I'm a little bit and I see that the minion wave is right here, and I know that Udyr is probably going to be able to kill this Ziggs. However, I'm kind of staying close to him just in case, but I really want to farm out this minion wave and push it out because I know Ziggs is back right now and he is out of position a bit. That, and I would like to get my blue buff, but it's not up right now, so we're just going to shove this wave out and wait by our tower. I've been experimenting with different Anivia builds, and I found that actually building a Rod of Ages after your Athene's and Holy Grail is actually a very good pickup, just because you do get that tankiness that Anivia lacks, but you're also able to get the AP and the mana that she also so desperately needs. So you're going to see me pick that. I don't know if I end up picking that up in this match. It's something that I've recently been doing, and I played this one about a few days ago. However, whatever build I do in here is a viable build for Anivia. I'll probably be going straight damage in this build because I noticed that a lot of their team is not going to be able to soak up the damage that I have. So I am going to probably be going full damage. So right there, I do pick up the Fiendish Codex for the last part of the Athene's Unholy Grail, and that's going to be giving me a lot of the cooldowns that I need to be reactivating my E ability. Spamming your E ability is going to give you all the damage that you need from Anivia, because that's going to be getting the double damage off on enemies that are chilled, and you're going to be chilling enemies a lot. So right there, just throwing down the Q and then putting down my ultimate to clear out the minion wave. And I'm just hanging around right here, getting good damage off on the Ziggs, but I'm nowhere near a kill yet. Anivia is kind of a champion that you're going to have to kind of whittle down your enemy and then go for the kill. And you can probably go for the kill around 50% HP on an enemy. Assuming that you have no ignite. On ignites, if you take an ignite build, you could probably go for the kill in, say, 2/3 health. Okay, so right here, Udyr gets a good gank off. He's going to ghost in, going to stun these Ziggs, and he's going to walk in front of the satchel charge so that he gets knocked up closer to the Ziggs. Right here, I'm going to place my wall down so that Master Yi has to kind of go around that in order to get to the Udyr. However, we're not going to let him get to that point. So right there, throwing down my Q, it's going to get the slow, throwing down the Glacial Storm, auto attack, put my E down, and he's still in my Glacial Storm right now, so he's taking a good amount of damage per second. I think it's going to be, yeah, he's taking about 100 magic damage per second. So that's a good amount of damage. So we're able to pick up the easy kill on him, and our Udyr is able to pick up the kill on the Ziggs, and we're able to get the nice double kill. However, he's going to fall to the Caitlyn ultimate, and right here I get decent amounts of damage off on the Gragas. However, he's still able to do a good amount on me as well. I throw down the wall just simply so that he can't continue to follow, and if he did, he'd be taking a lot of tower damage because he's simply not able to get out. We're going to speed this up just a bit. Gonna scroll down here. See, my ADC is right here, and he's gonna be pumping out a decent amount of damage. And what you want to do as Anivia is, if you know your wall's up, you want to stay kind of close to your ADC, because what that's going to allow you to do is that's going to allow you to create a wall so that they can't be damaged in a team fight. And also you can put a Glacial Storm around your ADC, and that's what that's going to be able to do, is that's going to be able to slow the movement and attack speed of people near your ADC. So it's always nice to stick by your ADC as Anivia. You're not the one that's leading the charge. You're not going to be like an Ahri or a LeBlanc that's just going in and killing people. You're going to be punishing people that are out of position. And that's your job as Anivia. And the way you use your walls are going to also determine how good of an Anivia you are. Because what you can do with walls is, if you can isolate about 2 to 3 enemies of their team from the other 3, you can effectively have a 3v5 always, no matter what the positioning is of the enemy team, which is always beneficial to team fighting. So we're going to speed this up a bit. We're just going to lose turret, a little bit too damaged to do anything. Pick up my sorcerer shoes, and a little bit too far. We're going to back this up just a wee bit. Okay. Too far. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up my sorcerer shoes on this base, and also my Athenes and Holy Grail. Man, I really went too far on this one. Okay, so we're going to slow this back down. Let's go to the TP. Okay, so right here, let's pause this right here. So as an Anivia, what I'm seeing right now is I'm seeing a narrow corridor which my wall will be able to block off. Now you need to assess, do we have enough damage to keep them on our side, or do we not have enough damage, and are we low enough health to put them on the other side? And in this instance, we have a low health Lee Sin, mid-health Gragas, but he is support Gragas, and we have a manaless Ziggs right now. So my decision is we want them on our side of the wall, because I know we can take them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flash in, get my wall off, and you see that because I went in perpendicular to them, that wall is blocking off completely their exit. So now I'm going to throw down the Glacial Storm right next to the wall, and I'm going to be doing some damage right here. So you see Braum throwing out his Q. They're stuck between a rock and a hard place right now, and Lee Sin's going to get caught. He's going to get hit by the Glacial Storm, and he's not going to be able to survive that one. I'm just pumping out consistent damage with my Glacial Storm, trying to do a little bit of damage off on the Gragas because I know he's trying to go for my ADC. However, Ethan is going to pick up the kill there, and Ziggs is going to be running away, but Braum's slow is not going to hit him. Let's see if my stun does, and it does. Throw down the E. Look at that damage. That's 366 damage. Call your mom, tell her about that, and cry about it to her, I guess. And right here I'm going to be picking up a blue buff because I earned it. You know, we earned it. We're Anivias, we earn our blue buffs. So right now we are 3-0-3, showing that Anivia is not only a killer but a team player as well. So after that fight, I didn't accumulate enough gold to pick up my next item, which I think I'm going to wait for a needlessly large rod here. As Anivia, you can go one of two paths. If you notice that you're doing well in the game and you want to go a more damage path, then you want to take your needlessly large rod. However, if you're doing a little bit worse in the game and you want a little bit of tankiness, I do recommend going for the Catalyst into the Rod of Ages. If you're kind of in between, pick up a Blasting Wand, then go for the Rod of Ages. So right here, we're just kind of positioning ourselves for a good fight. I'm able to get that slow off. Chose not to activate it early because I didn't know if I was going to be able to hit whoever was passing by them. I believe it was Caitlyn. So right there, let it go to the full range. I'm able to get damage off on the Caitlyn, and a team fight is breaking out. I'm able to get the nice wall down, so Gragas has to avoid that, and Braum is able to get a couple more procs off with his passive. I see that Ziggs is beaten down on my ADC, however our ADC is starting to win that fight, and Efi is coming out strong as ever. So my ball goes down. It's not going to be enough range to get the stun off. Braum barely missing his Q, and we're going to be backing out of that fight, but we do have the advantage in that fight, just by the damage we were able to get off and the amount of AoE that Anivia brings to a team fight. So right there, Master Yi does fall to the Vayne. I see the nice ultimate down by the MF. So I'm waiting around, and I put down a wall just in case if anyone tries to go towards her, they have to go around. It's a good combo. Have your MF be using her ultimate and put a wall right in front of her, and it makes it so that the enemies can't get to her. So Lee Sin coming in here, he flashes. I try and throw down the Glacial Storm right there to kill him while he flashes over to my MF. However, it's not enough, and I'm taking a good amount of damage right here. I believe my passive is still up, but it's okay. We got jukes, we got boots, and we're scooting. So I'm kind of sticking around, just trying to wave clear, make sure my tower doesn't fall unnecessarily, even though I'm low health. I do have my passive, so I know that I can do that. So right there you're going to see the pickup of the needlessly large rod, and we're just going to be going back in the lane, kind of pushing out the wave. I was able to get a chill off on Lee Sin, and a good wall makes it so that he has to go all the way around, and we're going to be getting a good amount of damage off on both of them because of the Glacial Storm. Don't forget to reactivate your Glacial Storm so that it turns off. So right here, let's slow this down just a bit. Vayne getting a lot of damage off on the Lee Sin, and she is going to have red buff as well, so that's going to be able to proc the slow, and he will get out. Now what I did there was, instead of walking towards, like, continuing my path, I saw the Gragas ult, so I moved to the back of it so that it sends me away from the fight, because if I'm an out of position Anivia and I'm in the fight, I'm not useful. If I'm out of the fight and go back in and use my AoE for my team, that's more useful. So when Gragas ults come down, try and walk away from it so that you don't get put out of position. So right there, trying to place the wall down, preventing Lee Sin from hugging that wall, so that if he did go around towards his turret, he had to be within our range of abilities. So I want to base here. However, I know that the enemy team is pushing up. We are low health, so I'm going to have to stick around just a bit. And we're going to end up backing out of that, and then going to farm up top lane because top lane is pushing. So let's speed this up just a bit. Get back to base. Come out, and I see that a mini fight may be breaking out by our tower. We do end up losing our tower here. A nice ult comes down by the Misfortune. I throw out the Q just for good measure, and it's not going to land. She does end up going around. I'm going to let the MF clean that up, and I'm going to come over here and try and get the Ziggs. I flash, get the wall, and I went a little too ham there. Gragas ult is able to kill me, or knock me back there, and I don't know if I'm able to get anything. It looks like I won't be able to. And boom. I do get shut down by the Gragas. That was just an example of me being too confident. I was 4-0 with 5 assists. 6 assists now. I was feeling good about myself, so I figured I'd try and go in. However, it was not enough, and I did end up paying the price for that. However, that was an example of a misplay, and I used my wall poorly, so Ziggs was able to slip through the crack and get around. Had I placed it better, he would have definitely died, and that fight maybe would have been a little bit different because Gragas would have also been zoned out, and his ult wouldn't have really done as much. But you learn, and you lose some and you win some. So we're gonna go back to normal speed. Again, farming out this wave, putting my ultimate, and throwing a Q throughout all the minions. And I see that my MF might be getting chased down, so I position myself and I go over to help the Braum, get the stun off on the Lee Sin, and the damage is real, and we are able to pick up the kill. So remember, always follow up any sort of chilling ability, whether it's your ultimate or your Q, follow it up with an E, because it is going to get a lot of damage off on the enemy. And because I killed that Lee Sin, I was able to pick up, hey, a blue buff. And blue buffs always help us, and Anivia's out. So right there, a little bit later on the juke, I'm trying to bait them into the Vayne. However, I don't think Vayne wants any of that. So what I'm going to do is, rather than run and be a little bit selfish, I'm going to stick around, wait for them, position myself so that I'm hugging the wall, and I put a wall up. So this is going to discourage them from coming. It's going to make it a little bit harder for their pathing, and they have to go all the way around, which is going to help us get out. However, I see the trap, I don't want to step on it. If Vayne's going to step on it, that's fine. I mean, I tried saving her once, but if it's not going to work, it's not going to work. So, right here, Master Yi is getting a little bit overconfident, and this is the power of an Anivia. So, what's going to happen is I'm going to turn around, throw my Q, it's going to chill him, and I'm going to hit him with the E, and it's going to be an easy kill. I didn't really even care for the slow, I just needed the extra damage that comes down from activating it on a chilled enemy. And I was able to pick up the easy kill there. So, don't ever underestimate Anivia's damage, because so many people have tried to tower dive me as an Anivia, and it's gone south or north, whatever pole Anivia lives on. She is a Cryo Phoenix. You just gotta know, she's the bomb diggity. Oh, some useful information for an Anivia. Whether I'm gonna switch over to manual camera. I learned this, and this actually changed me a lot because I was able to pick up some kills on the jungler for free. Yes, a free kill on the jungler. What? So if you see a low health jungler and he's going into either do his blue buff or his wraith camp, I would like to do this on the wraith camp personally. If you go around to right here and you wall, it's gonna block him off so that he can't get away from the wraiths. So what you do is you wall, you glacial storm, and then use your Q and E ability, and you can usually pick up a free kill there. Same thing goes with the blue buff. If you trap him in right here and you glacial storm and then E the buff, you're usually able to pick up a buff steal, and it's pretty nice. So any camp where it's kind of closed off, wolves kind of works. You can be here and put a wall there, but any camp where you can shut them from getting away in a narrow corridor, do it and put you down your glacial storm. It really helps out a lot. So I hope you guys are able to try that out and see if that works for you. So right here, just trying to provide peel for my Udyr, and looks like they're gonna back off just a bit. Kind of sticking around. I don't know what's gonna happen. I see the Gragas coming in, and I want to try and bait something out here. So I throw the Q. If you can throw your Qs when you're walking away, it helps out a lot as far as faking them out. So right there, good place wall. Not gonna be able to keep him there, but it's going to be able to stop him from getting away and getting off a lot of damage, but Udyr will fall, sadly. And we're going to speed this up just a bit. You see that I have completed my hat, and every bird looks great with a hat. And by a hat I do mean my death cap. So you see here, I'm picking up my health crystal, and I will probably eventually turn that into my Rod of Ages. I do build it a little bit late, however, better late than never. So Lee Sin was hitting the tower, and I wasn't sure if Vayne was going to be able to protect it, so I feel like, you know what, I'm just going to burn down. I'm just going to burn a TP just so that we're able to get the security off on that tower. So I flash in, try and get my crystal. It's going to miss a little bit to the left of the Ziggs. Udyr, or Gragas is going to ult, however, I do throw down a wall, which is going to be able to slow the Ziggs enough to where he's not going to be able to get away. So well-placed walls will change the tone of the fights. Will allow you to get picks as well. A good flash wall is going to be able to do a lot. So right here, Udyr taking a good amount of damage. I'm trying to hit the tower. I don't want to go in because I know Udyr is going to go deep and he's going to lose tower aggro. However, I do try and go back in. I get the Caitlyn. See the massive damage coming down from my E ability. Let's just rewind that a little bit and see. Oh, did I get it yet?
Shut down.
Yeah, I got it. I definitely got it. Dang it. Okay, right here. Let's speed this on. Let's speed this sucker up. Okay, right here. We're golden now. So right here, Udyr loses tower aggro. I don't want to take hits. I'm a soft bird, and I see that the Caitlyn's coming up. And look at all that damage. I wasn't able to slow it down at all, but you were able to see the damage. Sorry about that. So we're gonna speed this back up, and Anivia just revolves around getting your chill abilities off and then being able to damage them. So Brahm's able to save me there from the Master Yi, slowly progressing towards the bird. He wanted some chicken, but we weren't gonna give him chicken. No, no, no. We don't give out chicken for free. So you do see that I pick up my Catalyst, and that will be going towards my Rod of Ages. Just give me that little tankiness that I need. So just farming up minions, doing the same old, same old. Always keep your farm up as Anivia. I know it's tempting to not, but you gots to. You gots to. So let's slow this back down to original speed. I see that I'm able to get the kill off on the Ziggs, however I will pay the price for that. I am in egg form still though, so that's always good. And my MF is able to pick up the triple kill from the damage that she was pumping out with her ultimate, plus my Glacial Storm. So, good pick off, just seeing low health Ziggs, and I was able to pick up the kill. However, I did end up losing my passive over that, but it's a passive, use it. So, putting down the Storm, throwing my Q through. Vayne's gonna try and take the turret, however it's not gonna work. Zone off the Ziggs with the wall, and we're able to pick up another turret. Always always make sure you take down turrets, guys. That's how a lot of people end up not winning games, is they'll be ahead in kills but they won't get turrets, and then that always screws them over. MF taking my blue buff like the thief Efi is. You know, you can never trust Ethan. That's the moral of the story. You can never trust Ethan. He's gonna steal your blue buffs, so watch out, watch out. Oh, so we're gonna go back in. I see that I'm a little bit out of position here. I think I might get killed here. Passive is down. Looks like Gragas is pumping out enough damage, and he will pick up the kill. But I was able to put a good wall up. Or Ziggs picks up the kill. But I was able to put up a wall before I died, and that locked in these Ziggs for the death on him as well. So we're taking him down with us. Even if we weren't getting the kill, we were getting the assists. So Ethan is still on a rampage, going 16 and dose with 5 assists. He doesn't have as many assists as I do, but you know what? It's fine. We'll forgive him there. You know, he's kind of doubling my kills, but I'm also doubling his assists. You know, we don't keep track here. But you see that I do finish my Rod of Ages, and that's going to be able to give me a good amount of health and a good amount of damage as well through AP. So let's speed this up just a little bit, because this is kind of boring. We're just farming. Good Place Wall is able to stop the Ziggs from getting to a satchel charge as easily. I do miss the stun, however that's an example of a decent wall. Not the best, it's a decent wall. So you see, just barely missing his ultimate. I'm able to throw down the Glacier Storm, but it doesn't catch anybody out. We ping off the Braum because we don't have any vision, and that was scary. And we're always scared when we don't have vision. So we're going to speed this back up, able to get the nice double stun off, and boom! Look at all that damage. Even she healed, and heal was not able to even help out. You know, so that's the example of the damage that you're going to be doing with Anivia. So pick her up, enjoy damage. I like doing damage. I mean, I don't know about you guys, I like doing damage. Damage is fun. So a Good Place Wall is able to stop the Lee Sin from going over there. He has to walk around now. He's going to be slow. Crystal, boosh! Boosh! Able to pick up the kill on the Lee Sin and give me a blue buff. So let's see, we got a couple of people here. They think they're gonna be doing something. They're not. I have to walk around the trap. She is able to catch me, but the bird will fly free. And oh, is she gonna? Nah, she isn't gonna. But MF is able to pick up another kill on the. Or MF is not gonna get the kill there. Vayne will flash from that. Vayne will flash. So right here. Ziggs is poking me down a good amount, and I don't want to risk this because I don't have my passive right now. Oh, I do have my passive. It just came up. But I don't want to burn a passive on a stupid fight like a Ziggs and also potentially lose my blue buff, because blue buffs are important on Anivia, and if you have one, you typically don't want to take any risks with her. Let's just say don't be a coward about it, but like calculated risks, you know. So right here, just picking up the home guard so I can get back in the lane faster. Ultimate and Q through the minion wave. Nice wall, stopping the Gragas from chasing me, and they will not be able to continue this chase. So I go back through and try to position myself properly for the next team fight. I'm able to get the stun off on the Ziggs, and I'm going a little too deep, so I decided to back out. I was not able to get my E off on the Ziggs. Lee Sin has his Q on me. I'm able to get the Glacial Storm down, and he will get Egg Form off on me, but I do believe I'm not going to survive this one. Damn Gragas, man. Damn Gragas, just killing me every time. But that was an example of a good placed wall right there. Had Gragas and Ziggs not showed up, I would have definitely been able to come out of Egg Form and kill the Lee Sin. However, I was not able to. They did show up, and that is a death for me. But it's fine. It is fine. I'm not sad about it. It's just a death. And the Cryo Phoenix always comes back. So we're gonna speed this up. You guys can probably tell I'm a little bit tired, but we make do with what we have. We definitely do. So right here, picking up my blue buff, gonna stop that blue buff from getting to me. We don't want to get hit by the blue buff, so we take no damage there. No damage. And we're gonna continue to farm. We got our blue buff now. We're gonna be letting our mana regen up a bit, so that on the next team fight we're able to do a good amount of damage and leave our Glacial Storm up. So we're gonna speed this up. Right here, Braum, being the nice guy that he is able to take that damage right there. What a boss. Must be in the mustache. So I'm positioning myself. I don't want to be in the front line. However, I do know that I'm going to need to put a wall down soon. So I need to position myself to do a wall. So I'm waiting in the rafters right there, just in case if I need to blow down the wall. And MF is going a little bit aggressive right now. I throw down the Q because I wasn't sure where the Ziggs was. I barely miss him, barely. So Ziggs is running away right now. And Udyr is pushing out the bot lane, so I know that, hey, if Udyr is pushing out bot, and we just got 2 kills, and Ziggs is extremely low as well as Lee Sin, why not push mid? So we're going to go back to the same old, use your ultimate, put your Q through the minion wave, and get the damage off on everybody, and then you're going to farm the wave pretty easily. So remember, if you're trying to farm waves fast, R, Q through the minion wave, and E the cannon minion if you have to. So I'm going to check on their blue buff. It is not up. I'm going to go top, clear out the minion wave, doing the same old, ward up Baron, ultimate, Q through, E the cannon minion, and we're able to pick up all the farm in that. So I'm going to go back into mid. I see a big team fight breaking out. I don't want to position myself poorly, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go around. Don't ever take the risky path, because that's going to potentially lead to you getting picked off and killed. So right there, what I did was I created a wall so that Gragas, even if he went this way, he can't go back through. So he's going to have to either come through here and get picked off, or go through there, come back around, be taken kind of out of the fight. So you see he's going to have to take the latter option, throw down my Q, throw down my E ability. I'm going to be taking a lot of damage here. I'm living with my 15 HP. Oh. Woo! So that's an example of putting off damage but receiving a lot of damage. So my teammates are going to be falling. We do lose 2 members for their 2 members. However, our MF is doing work. Our Udyr is able to pick up a good amount of kills. And I try and save my MF there. However, it's not enough. She will fall. But we are the Cryo Phoenix and we're going to get revenge here. So what I do is I place down my Glacial Storm, slowing him up, making him take a little bit more tower damage. And the wall's going to come down and it's going to be able to stop him from going around. And the Udyr is going to be doing damage, and then the E will finish him off. So good placed wall makes him have to walk around, and then he gets picked off. That's the premise of Anivia. If you pull nothing away from this video, pull away, wall, do some damage, leave. Very simple. But you end up getting a lot of kills and a lot of damage. I mean, 10, 3, and 14, you can't argue with those stats. So I'm going to be going through, doing the same old, clearing out minions, doing my work. Was not able to get that Caitlyn. Had I got my Q off on the Caitlyn, that would have been a kill for sure. So they have to funnel through that wall. I'm going to throw my Q because they have to all pass through it to continue to chase me, but I'm going to bait something out. So shh. Oh, and the Master Yi does not know what he got into. And I'm going to throw my Q through the wall, detonate it just a bit early, and we're able to get the stun off on the Master Yi and pick up the kill there. So we're going to speed this back up. I see that Caitlyn is out of position. However, she nets me, and that's my weakness. I hate nets. I'm a bird. I need to fly free, you know. So we're not going to chase her anymore. But what we are going to do is I'm going to throw down the Q because I didn't know if the Ziggs would continue to chase. However, Caitlyn is here. She's chasing me. She wants some chicken wings. I'm not going to give it to her. And I'm going to kind of stay here just in case. I'm going to be poking out. Ooh, Caitlyn starts the ultimate. She will take lethal amounts of damage, and she will fall to me. So now I'm in a sticky situation. I got 3 blue teammates right here. So what I do is I place down a good wall, and I'm doing damage off on the Ziggs, able to pick up a double kill. And instead of going back towards that Gragas, I'm going to try and go through here because I know my wall's coming. And the Satchel Charge will get the knockback, and that will end up potentially killing me here. But I am going to try and get as much damage off as I can before I die. So there's the golden bird, stopping the Gragas ult from coming down. Now I see my ADC is kind of getting tanked down by this Lee Sin. However, he's switching music, sir, and I can't do anything about that, and we will both end up falling. But Udyr will be coming in, trying to get the save off for me, and he will end up saving me. So you know, good guy Udyr. Good thing we have the Anivia passive. Anivia is the name that pops up when you put over it. But Lee Sin's going to try and get the kill off here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put the wall down, Glacial Storm. However, it's not going to be enough. I just lost my egg, and I'm not going to be able to do it, sadly. But 12 and 4, I was able to pick up a nice double kill for my death, essentially. So I'm not too worried about that one. So what I'm going to do is, this is what people don't use with TP. So my teammates picked up a double kill, triple kill, and 2 others are extremely low in the top half near Baron. So instead of TPing in here, TPing there, TPing here, like, just TP to the furthest point from there so that the enemy team has to make a decision. The 2 people alive have one decision: stop me here or stop them there. And that's going to be far away, so they're going to have to come here, and then that's going to give us a free Baron. I mean, it's already pretty much free, but then it's going to allow for our team to push the mid lane. So create a fork. For those of you who play chess, forks, I mean, we know what forks are in chess, but for those who don't play chess, forks are where you have to force your enemy to make a decision, and they kind of have to pick their poison, pick the lesser of the 2 evils, basically. So I'm going to push out this wave, and then we're going to be pushing down this tower, getting off a good amount of damage. I see that Caitlyn will be choosing my path, but nah, she ain't going to be able to kill the Cryo Phoenix. So right here, I catch her just a little bit out of position, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw my Q, I get the stun off, and look at this damage. Throw down the Glacial Storm. Now, let's look at that thing. Let's go over to the manual camera. Look at that, that's coming for her. She has, right now, 833 health. Oh, straight through her. Just completely demolishing the Caitlyn. And that's an example of the damage you do as Anivia. You do 1,000 damage very easily, and it comes up every like 3 seconds. So that's why we play Anivia. And the damage is unreal, and people don't expect it coming from an Anivia. So let's speed this back up. Gonna be trying to get the blue buff, however it was counter jungled by the Vayne. Don't choose to turn here. We could have, but we chose not to because we didn't want to die and throw. But we have 2 inhibs down now, and this is looking to be the end of the game. Right now we're just kind of finishing up our items. I do end up picking up the Zhonya's Hourglass, and I do also pick up my Liandry's Torment. Now I could have gone with Guardian Angel and really been a troll, but I wanted damage. I'm ahead right now. I don't need to have a Guardian's Angel. So I did end up picking up a damage item. You can also go with other items that give you AP. I mean, you can go with DFG, but you're usually not within range to use DFG. If you are, you're kind of out of position as an Anivia. But you can do it for the 120 AP. Medjai's also works as well. You're going to be getting a lot of kills with the amount of damage you're doing. So that's always fine too. However, I chose the Liandry's Torment because of the amount of health that Gragas was having, and also the amount of health that Lee Sin was having. So I figured, you know what, why not? Why not? And it's also AP and health, so you can't go wrong with that. So right there, throw the wall down. I am out of position very, very, very severely though, so I will be forced to flash over this wall. And yeah, I lost a flash, but the game's already over. You know, we already know it, so get the stun off. Not able to follow up with my E. You see that I have Fort, Pot, and Elixir running. Vayne casts her ultimate, and I'm going to be going for the Caitlyn here. Also because by going for the Caitlyn, I'm going to be able to position myself for a good wall. So that wall was able to stop them from coming through here, and now they have to walk in a straight line. And meanwhile, my MF is able to get damage off coming through here. I have Glacial Storm running. So this is an example of a good wall. So this was able to stop them from going straight through the jungle and evading us, whereas now they have to walk all the way around and go through there or go through here. So that's an example of a good wall as an Anivia. Make sure you use them. Good walls. They always win. And damn those nets and traps. You know, they just want my chicken wings. But I give chicken wings to 4 people, and 4 people only. So right here, that is going to be the end of this guide. We do pick up the victory, and that is an Anivia, and that's how you play Anivia. So I definitely recommend you guys pick up Anivia, because there's so much damage behind her. Don't keep that sweater in the closet. Show grandma some love. But anyways, that is going to be the conclusion of this video. If you haven't already, please slap this video with a like. Subscribe if you haven't already. Send us a comment. Tell us what you're thinking. If you like the guide, sure. If you hated it, think I've sucked, that's fine too. Be nice though. Don't insult the community, because that's sad, and we really don't like that. But that is the Anivia guide. We do have another series coming out, and we will be explaining that in a bit. We're still kind of ironing out the details, finalizing everything, but that is the end of this commentary. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and hope you do end up picking up Anivia, because I want to see some more birds out there in the mid lane. Well, without anything else to say on this guide, this has been your LOL support, and I am out of here.